The Shark Deck.
Hello, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. An AI podcast called Dudesy got a lot of attention. They created an hour-long Tom Brady stand-up special using whatever technology they used. And it's not good. It's really terrible. It's unlistenable. Again, I get what the technology is. It's not like actual Tom Brady did stand up and you're sourcing it. And I use AI voices sometimes here on this podcast if I make a mistake. And I'll tell you, you can replace a word you'll never notice, a phrase you probably won't notice. But if I go any longer than that, you will definitely notice. For example, I can illustrate here. In the next sentence, I never said the word purple. Ready? This color is purple. Now here is the AI voicing that entire sentence. This color is purple. So you can hear the difference there. So let's listen to a brief snippet of this Tom Brady, because I'm telling you, I was going to play more of it, but it's so terrible you're all going to tune out.
Thank you, Dudesy, and thank you everyone for coming out tonight. Wow, it feels great to be back in front of a crowd. But I got to say, even though this is a much smaller crowd than I'm used to, this is far more nerve-wracking. On the football field, I got to wear shoulder pads, a helmet. Hell, I had 5 350-pound men that were paid millions of dollars to protect me. But up here on this stage, I only got one thing. You know what it is? A midlife crisis.
Actual Tom Brady has no intention of doing stand-up at the roast of Tom Brady. Oh, well, that reminds me, the roast of Bert Kreischer tomorrow on OnlyFans, April 1st. Yes, the roast of Bert Kreischer features Trevor Wallace, Rachel Feinstein, Big J. Okerson, Donnell Rawlings, Tony Hinchcliffe, Jim Norton, Tom Segura, Miranda Cosgrove, and Kesha. Johnny Mac, are you forcing Joe Rogan into the podcast again so you can use him in the headlines to goose your download numbers? Maybe. Joe Rogan on his podcast this week said, "This trans athlete thing effing blows my mind. How many people go along with this?" The topic at hand was Leah Thomas, the swimmer. Rogan said, "Swimming. I mean that Leah Thomas is still the #1 swimmer in the world, and it's a biological male," quoting Rogan there, period. End of discussion. It's madness. And not only that, hasn't even gotten penis removed and has sex with women, apparently. The whole thing is so crazy that you can call yourself a woman and then you're a woman. And like, this has nothing to do with trans rights. It just has to do with humans. It's just what they've done to those other girls that are competing against her is just an effing crime. It's horrible. Imagine if you're a biological woman, you're working your ass off, you're fully dedicated to being the best of the best. You're dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's. You're watching your diet, you're watching your recovery, you are effing trying, and this person who just decides they're a woman with testosterone flowing through their body their entire life just dominates you. It's effing maddening. Meanwhile, the Debating Society at Royal Holloway University of London have cancelled a talk by Baroness Claire Fox of Buckley. Why? The Baroness Claire Fox of Buckley retweeted a trans joke by Ricky Gervais. The Gervais joke referenced the old-fashioned women, you know, the one with wombs. The new ones we've been seeing lately with beards and male parts, clean that up a little bit. Well, let's turn to brighter things. It's a great day to be alive. Why, Johnny Mac? There's a new Adam Sandler movie on Netflix, Murder Mystery 2 on Netflix today. Clear your calendars. I mean, what else are you going to do? So what's Murder Mystery 2 on Netflix starring Adam Sandler about? Well, the film is set 4 years after the first film and follows Nick, played by Adam Sandler, and Audrey, played by Jennifer Aniston, who are now full-time detectives struggling to get their private eye agency off the ground when they're invited to celebrate the wedding of their friend, the Maharaja, on his private island. I mean, how could that not be great? Just listen to that plot. That sounds amazing. Jennifer Aniston told Jimmy Fallon, "When you meet back up with us, we're not doing that great. So we get invited to a wonderful wedding of someone wonderful. We say, we need a break, we need a vacation. And that's where our mistakes happen." Jennifer Aniston described a, quote, nice dinner with Adam Sandler and Mrs. Sandler, Jackie Sandler. This happened in Italy when shooting the first murder mystery film. Jennifer said, "He shows up in basketball shorts, satin basketball shorts with white piping and Nike high tops and a turquoise velour izod." Sandler says, "Vogue says I look amazing like this." Aniston says, "Thanks, Vogue." "Well, what are you wearing, Johnny Mac?" "Well, I am wearing my blue Mets sweatshirt. I'm recording this on Thursday, opening day for baseball. Got to represent. And some jeans and my Brooks running sneakers. I'm not George Clooney, but I'm also not Adam Sandler. You know what I'm saying? Yeah." Jennifer Aniston said Adam Sandler sometimes chimes in on her love life. "If I get anything from him, it's 'what are you doing?' Usually based on someone I'm dating. You see, Adam is so concerned with taking care of everybody else, which he really does, and he doesn't take care of himself." Jen said she made Adam smoothies and provided Chinese herbs on the set to direct Adam Sandler to a healthier path. Jackie Sandler said the effort lasted about a minute. Spoiler for Murder Mystery 2. I know this could ruin the film for you. You've been warned. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Well, Adam Sandler, what's it like getting punched in the face by Mark Strong? Apparently during the film, there's a moment where Jennifer Aniston and Mark Strong are atop the Eiffel Tower, presumably because Adam Sandler wanted to film this in Paris. Aniston said, Adam does a lot of his own stunts, and he gets pretty beat up. I mean, he actually got hit. Did he ever tell you this? Mark Strong actually hit him in the face. You know who else is living the good life? Jim Gaffigan. Listen to this from the South China Morning Post, your home for comedy news. They spoke to Jim Gaffigan via Zoom. Jim was on Boracay. Maybe it's Boracay. Anyway, you know it, the resort island in the Philippines known for white sandy beaches, crystal clear waters, and pretty good hotel breakfast buffets. Yes. Gaffigan told the South China Morning Post, I truly love experiencing different cultures. He likes to research the culture and the history of the place I'm performing in. It might translate to just a minute of jokes, but the audience appreciates the effort. It's also interesting to understand the expat communities in these countries because they're just weirdos.
Welcome to How to Tickle Yourself. I'm your host, Duff McDonald.
And I'm your co-host, Matt McButter. We'll be talking to people who specialize in different ways of inhabiting their own consciousness, from artists to yoga teachers to scientists. We've even got a professional magician.
We're going to ask them questions like, what is consciousness? Why does it tickle? And what is magic anyway? Is it just card tricks, or is it the fact that your little speck of consciousness is part of a perfect possibility machine?
Find us wherever you get your podcasts and at storicmedia.com.
One way to support the show is go to Apple Podcasts. They'll offer you the option to become a premium subscriber. So for $5 a month, and you can test drive this for a month for free. You'll get the episodes ad-free and early. By early, usually on the weekdays, you'll get it the afternoon before the official release. And I tend to put the weekend episodes up on Friday morning because I almost always do those in advance. So go to Apple Podcasts, premium subscriber, $5 a month. Thank you. The Age had a nice article suggesting some artists you might want to see at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. One of those comedians, Sarah Schaefer, she's from LA, but when she visited Melbourne in 2017, she said, I was introduced to the entire world of the solo show and the festival system. American comedy does not have that. She compared it to a domestic festival. You've got 2 days to get in and network and party and get drunk off your ass. And oh my God, the stakes are high. But with the longer ones, it's more about living somewhere for a while and being part of that city. She first experienced Melbourne when she was invited to appear as part of the annual Headliners Showcase, in which experienced international stand-ups do 20-minute sets. She was instantly enamored with Melbourne, describing it as a clean New York. Melbourne is fantastic. She said all the different types of cuisine and art being very walkable, amen, and the public transportation. Yeah, in downtown Melbourne, in like the central business district, they have hop-on, hop-off trolleys if you stay within the central district. So I compare that if it were New York City, and you might not be that familiar with New York City, it would be like if between 3rd Avenue and 8th Avenue and say 34th Street and 59th Street, like if everything in that rectangle was free public transportation, that's how downtown Melbourne is. You just hop on the trolley and you hop off. Great way to get around. In her new show, Going Up, it's Sarah Schaefer conducting a fake seminar on how to make it in comedy. The Age says, if Hannah Gatsby's Nanette deconstructed comedy as an art form, this show does something similar to comedy as a business. Sarah Schaefer Going Up at Melbourne Town Hall, April 1st through the 23rd. I'm taking a look at the Saturday schedule at Melbourne. Let me just scroll down and see what titles catch my eye. Again, most of these shows run most days, so we're going to start to see repeats here as I do this feature every day. Michael Chamberlain's Completely Incomplete History of Australia. He writes, let's roll back to 1858. Tom Wills decided to get a bunch of people to kick a ball around in what is now the car park of the Melbourne Cricket Grounds. It was intended to be a game that kept cricketers fit during the winter. What Tom didn't realize was that his name would have been lost to history if instead of inventing Australian football, he'd invented indoor cricket. The Adelaide Advertiser says, entertaining and intelligent. This guy is funny. All right, this next one has caught my attention. Nick White's Grow Up. It's at the Theory Bar, and what's catching my attention, Theory Bar, parentheses, previously known as Loop Project Space. All right, let's see what Nick White's up to. A self-described late bloomer, Nick White moved to New York City in his mid-20s to figure out who he was and where he fit in the world. Unfortunately, he still doesn't know, but is eager to report his findings thus far. Nick White is a Brisbane-born comedian who has spent the past few years in New York City. All right, that could be interesting to me, seeing Aussie's opinion of my home city. Ooh, I like this one. Brendan Wan, Yummy Yummy Cha-Cha. That's at the TIC Swanston in the Nicholas Building. That's some pictures of Brendan eating some food here. Let's see. Performed by Australia's only Chinese-Australian comedian. And there's an asterisk next to that. Yummy Yummy Cha-Cha is an hour of solo sketch comedy designed to be very fun, but very dumb. If you're looking for political satire, a cathartic comedy about the Chinese-Australian experience, or observations on modern life, this is not the show. Milk Bar Magazine says, the comedic timing is undeniable. I love these little quotes they have. All right, let's do one more. Grace Jarvis's show is called This is the Last Goldfish That I'm Going to Eat. Oh no, that's at Trades Hall in the meeting room. Let's see what Grace is up to. It's a picture of Grace holding a poor goldfish in a bag. Hopefully that was just, for the photo, and she gave the goldfish a nice home, and the goldfish lived a decade or so. She said, I have collected for you, my audience, an anthology of all the weird things I've done in my life to try and make friends. Do not attempt these methods for yourself. The Age says, it's rare to see a comic making a festival debut land as many punchlines as effortlessly as Grace Jarvis. All right. Joe Lycett has a new show on Channel 4 in the UK today, or if you know how to use VPN technology, you know what I'm saying? Nudge, nudge, say no more. 10 p.m. Friday, UK time. Joe hosts Late Night Lycett. He's giving away his Lexus Hybrid as a prize. He's also giving away other real-life possessions, including all of his cutlery, his socks, and even one of his comedy awards. He said, Channel 4 wouldn't give us any money for prizes, and the production team have overreached and are trying to ruin me by giving away my possessions. Genuinely, one of the things they tried to get me to give away was my house, my actual house. I said no, but I appeased them with the Lexus Hybrid. The production team are out of control. I'm essentially a hostage to this program, and I want nothing to do with it. Please do not watch it. It will encourage them. Lycett knows what it's like to get a free car. Early in his career, Sarah Milliken gave Joe her old Nissan. She had this car and was like, do you want to have this car? And I was like, yeah. But not only did she give me the car, she got it serviced and cleaned. It was pristine and was a real lifesaver. But then she went on the show Would I Lie to You and confessed she had peed in the passenger seat. She hadn't told Joe about that. And that's your comedy news for today. Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your shows. See you here tomorrow. Did you know you can name a cockroach after your ex-lover and have it fed to the animals at the zoo? Hi, I'm Johnny Mack with 5 Good News Stories. It's a podcast twice a week where I tell you 5 good news stories, 5 fluffy stories. I just want to make you smile to start your day. I can tell you about a cat and a rabbit that fell in love, or I can tell you how porta potties are about to be a lot less horrible. What kind of show is this? It's called 5 Good News Stories. The number 5 Good News Stories. Follow it, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your shows. 5 Good News Stories.